Hi, this is Paul Sanneman, the founder of Contractor Staffing Source, bringing you business success tips where you can learn to make more money in less time. I'm here with Alejandro De Armas. I probably messed up your name. I gave it my best shot with
You
the
did good.
Organic Marketing Agency. So, good afternoon, Alejandro. Tell me a little about yourself and about your company and why people should listen to you and why you're so smart.
Well, yeah, so we've actually ran this company for about 3 years now, and we've worked with a bunch of flooring agencies, flooring companies, and we've achieved a lot of results and gotten them a lot of leads. So I think we're professionals in our field, and I think people should listen to us
Now,
100%.
why did you specialize in flooring companies?
So, well, the main reason for that was because I originated mainly in real estate. That's where I was doing most of my business before I started this
Mhm.
company. And I just saw that a lot of flooring people had a bunch of issues just with just getting leads. And I was noticing that a lot of roofing companies, for example, which is another niche that a lot of marketing agencies go into, were always had somebody to work with. And I saw that the flooring guys were not really that savvy with their marketing, and I was just like, hey, maybe there's an issue there that can be solved. So yeah.
Okay. So, what's the typical size of a flooring company you work with?
They're usually from about 10 to 15 employees, and um they're sometimes making anywhere from 50,000 to 150,000 in revenue a year.
Okay. And what about their gross sales? Like a couple million, give or take?
Yeah, give or take, I would say.
Okay, cool. Okay, so there's lots of arguments and discussions about what's good in marketing, what's not. So let's say, what kind of a marketing budget should a flooring company have to do a good job in percentage of volume? 3%, 10%? What do you think it should be?
um so I would say if we're looking at running ad campaigns, so we're looking at about to get a good return on investment, I would say they should be at around the 2,000 to 5,000 range monthly to invest in their
Okay.
advertising, and that would definitely be a good number to definitely see
Okay.
results.
And what does that come down to cost per lead, and how do you judge whether it's a good investment or not?
Okay, so basically what happens with a lot of marketing agencies, the purpose of marketing agencies per se is that they are supposed to aim the gun, right? So the big, huge platforms like Facebook, Instagram, they're the ones that pretty much shoot. We just aim the gun, right?
Right.
So what we do is that we create an advertisement that captures an audience and increases engagement and increases visibility, and you compare advertisements, and then you see which one's getting you more results than the other. That's pretty much how it works.
Okay. Now, what would a rate of return be on a budget? Let's say I'm going to spend $3,000 a month on marketing advertising. What should I expect in return? What kind of ROI should I expect, return on investment?
I mean, that's a tough question because it really varies. It really just depends, but we've seen anywhere from 50% ROI to about 300% ROI,
Wow,
which is,
that's really good.
yeah, yeah, it
Um,
really varies. It
Now,
depends.
there's another debate. There's building brand, which is SEO and all that kind of stuff, and then there's actually pay-per-click and the Google stuff you actually pay to get people to, call you. How
Mhm.
should you split your budget between those, and which is better, if one is better than the other or both?
So do you mind repeating that question just
Okay,
so?
so well, I've got a budget and I can spend it
Yeah,
on like marketing, like SEO, building my brand, building my website, becoming the
correct,
guy over, stuff on
correct.
trucks, like kind of thing. Or I can spend it on specific generating leads, like pay-per-click and that kind of stuff, where people are going to literally call me.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing 3,000 a month, how should I split that 3,000 a month? Should I spend it all pay-per-click? Should I spend some on SEO? And how should I allocate my budget?
So what I would recommend to most people is to spend most or I would say yes, spend most of your initial budget on creating your foundation, which is your SEO, your website building, all of these particular fundamentals that you need in order to have your brand out there. Why? Because that is essentially what is going to give you the leads over the long run. However, it is a slow process. So this is why you want some allocation of your money into the pay-per-click ads, because this is where you're going to see the fast return, right? This is where you're going to see most of your clients coming in the quickest. So I would definitely say putting, like, I would say maybe 40% into SEO and other, other types of foundational things that you need. And I would say 60% put it into pay-per-click.
Okay. Now, how do you know if a pay-per-click ad is working? How do you evaluate it? And how do you evaluate whether it's better on, I guess Google has like, they have like three things. What are the three things Google uses? I forgot. There's the new one, which is Google guaranteed or something, isn't it?
Yes. So, I mean, what are you referring to? Are you referring
Well, in
to?
Google, there's like Google guaranteed, and then there's the Google sponsored, and then there is the just, organic map
Yeah,
thing, right?
verified. Yeah, Google verified.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do those three work and which is best?
So, I mean, if you look at the top of Google, you can do a real quick Google search right now. The best one is Google guaranteed. Those, I'm pretty sure you have to pay hefty amounts of money to Google to get verified. But it gives a lot of return, right? Because you're at the top immediately, right? So even when you're doing competitive SEO, you're still going to be a few below the ones that are verified by Google, the ones that are guaranteed by Google. So it really depends. Like I said, it depends on how much money you have to work with and how much you want to really spend in your advertising. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, did you do all three, one or the other? How do you test them? Because there's three places. I guess there's Google guaranteed, there's sponsored, and there's organic or whatever the Google being on the, the map thing. Should you do all three, one or the other? How should that work?
Yeah, so once again, it goes all the way, it just goes back to the budget that you're working with. But if you were going to do one, I would say to do Google Guaranteed, to invest most of your
Okay.
budget there, because like I said, it puts you right at the top immediately, right?
Okay.
So just give a few little pieces of information about your business to Google, pay them the money, and then you're there, So
Now,
it definitely.
Google guaranteed, you pay per click, per ad. How do you pay Google when people respond to it?
So there's pay-per-click, and then there is the Google Guaranteed services, right? So that is an
Yeah.
application. You have to submit an application to them saying the qualifications of your business, and then they take a couple weeks maybe, or in my experience, they usually take from like 7 days to 3 weeks to evaluate your business. And then
Mhm.
that's when you get approved, and that's when they start posting your ads up there in the Google, in the top
Google
of Google.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
Now, do you pay like how much do you pay, or what is the range that you pay per lead on that kind of thing? Do you know?
Um, Well, I am going to be honest with you. I mostly specialize in Facebook ads. So we are not very familiar with Google. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, but I mean, I would say I know Google is very expensive when it comes to their leads. So I would say about you're looking at 25 to $50 cost per lead around
Well,
there.
it's expensive. So you're
Yeah.
the Facebook thing. How do you advertise in Facebook and how does that work?
So Facebook is actually, well, it's one of the platforms that's been used all the way since 2015. It's been around for a long time. Now they're very stringent with their criteria, which is, this is what Facebook is known for, unfortunately, nowadays, that they will shut down. It is almost more common for them to shut down your ad campaign than it is for them to just leave it running, right? Because their criteria is so stringent with their rules. And so honestly, to answer your question, it is a pain in the butt, but it is good because it creates barriers to entry. So there's a lot of different not a lot of people want to advertise on Facebook because of it. So it kind of offsets there. So
Okay.
yeah.
Now, Facebook, you can geofence really closely. Like you can say, I want to work in this neighborhood, or I
Yeah.
want to work. So I would say, is that one of the advantages of Facebook that you can get very clear of who you want to market to specifically?
Absolutely. I mean, the closer you can target, pinpoint your audience, the better leads you can get, the more qualified leads you can get. So
So, for
absolutely.
example, if you've got a neighborhood that the houses are, I'm picking a number, 50 years old or something, and you know the flooring's going in all those houses. It's a, you know, they all need to replace their flooring because it was, or they refinish the wood. They need to do something because it's not old enough to be antique and too old to be good.
Mhm.
How would you focus like a zip code or a neighborhood? How does that work?
So, I mean, when you're going through the Facebook ad, when you're creating it, it tells you, it gives you, you know, specific settings that you can put in there, and then it says, "Hey, so what type of demographic are we looking at? What, you know, what is exactly the first step is visualizing the client that you want, right? Who are they, what they do, how they look, absolutely everything, down to the color of their hair, right? So you want to
Right. So
just
what kind of car they drive, how much money they make, how many kids they
exactly,
have. You want
exactly,
to get all the sociographics to be that you want to have the avatar. This is the person I'm looking for. Like, you know, they make
exactly,
over $100,000 a year. They own their own home. They live in this zip code. They drive a Tesla or whatever. And they have 3 kids and blah, blah,
ex-
blah
ex-
stuff, right?
exactly, exactly. And that's really how you do your best targeting, you know, because if you can really, you know, pinpoint, like I said, pinpoint your audience, if you can get in touch with flooring owners and just pinpoint the people who they're targeting most, then you can get them the best results.
Okay. So what's your most successful and least successful campaign?
Oof.
Don't give names. I'm just curious how they worked.
Yeah, so our most successful campaigns are usually the ones that when we create videos, that's usually our most you know, it's just images to videos. Videos tend to do a lot better. You
Okay.
know, because you're showing more authority, you're showing better, you know, it's just you're showing more of the business, right? Images, anyone can post an image on Facebook, and people are just gonna be like, what the hell is this? You know, and then they're
Right.
just gonna scroll right through it. So definitely our most successful campaigns involves taking videos of the place, talking to the owners, and doing that type of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Least successful.
Least successful, like I said, has to do whenever we take pictures or whenever we, you know, do a job and then we post an ad, which is how most of the people run ads on Facebook. And that is exactly why it's not that successful, because everyone does it, right? So it doesn't tend to be that successful.
So what you're saying, if I'm a flooring company, or this applies for a lot of our audience or contractors, if I run a specific ad on Facebook that's running a video and say, let's say I'm doing flooring, I'm saying I want to be in this neighborhood. I want the people to own their own homes. I want the house to be X years old. I want it to have a family person that, you know, makes $150,000 a year plus. And I focused specifically on that group with, I guess, a video that applies, that has that kind of house with that kind of person with a testimonial saying, I love these guys because they did my house in the same neighborhood. They're amazing. I highly recommend them. If you need a new floor like I do, my life has been changed magically by these guys. That's your best shot, right?
Exactly. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, marketing is really just selling to a bigger audience, you know, like it just tends to be a lot better when it is you know, when it's a testimonial. You know, you can't
Right.
really sell much with a picture, you know, you can only sell so
Right. And
much.
a testimonial beats a review because it's a real person talking about a real thing and showing a real house, right?
Correct.
Cool.
Correct. Exactly.
Okay, this is all good information. Alejandro, if somebody wants to get in touch with you to learn more, how do they do that?
You can go ahead and visit our website, it's marketingoma.com, and you can go ahead and book a free consultation call with us, and we'll be more than happy to help any single one of the contractors that you guys work with and anyone else that's interested as well. We're actually
Okay.
doing a very good deal right now, which is that we're giving away 1 month for free if they go ahead and sign up on our website in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, great. New Year's special. Holidays. That sounds
So
good.
you're special.
Okay. Thanks, Alejandro. I really appreciate you being here. And I think everybody should give themselves its own present for Christmas because it'll make it a great year. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate you. Thank you.